How would you describe the relationship between the three of us, the three of our characters?
I wouldn't say it's like traditional or love triangle. I don't know. I wouldn't say, I think maybe like the love triangle thing would diminish it a little bit.
It's like a love triangle, but without like the bottom line, you know?
Mm.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, it's like this. Simon was pretty set on what his sexuality was, and Victor is not really so sure of that. So it's kind of like his story of self-discovery. You could see that Victor in a way is kind of disconnected from the world, such as Simon was, and he feels like a part of him is hiding. He's kind of like a normal person trying to figure out his life and place in the world, and that just so happens for Victor's sexuality, and I think that's also very relatable on both parts. What do you think makes your guys' characters relatable to like younger audiences?
I think Mia's relatable because she's kind of dealing with some family stuff, and I think we can all relate to that and how we often mask what's going on underneath the surface with smiles and more superficial aspects of ourselves. Not that Mia is superficial, I don't think she is, but we all kind of are to an extent in high school, and I think that's relatable.
I think we're all like trying to fit in, and like sometimes we can like, present a different version of ourselves than what we actually are or what we like, want to be.
Yeah, for sure.
So what other teenage themes do you think like the show highlights in a way that's accurate?
One of the main ones is finding where you fit in. That exciting element of meeting new people in high school and like having chemistry with people. It's kind of the first time you get that sense happening in your life and that kind of freedom that comes with it, Just
different kinds of relationships, like I guess romantic relationships, and then also friendships and how they kind of develop and change. Family dynamics. There are generational gaps that like definitely impact how you like relate to your family.
What did you think about like labeling yourself in high school, and like, or did you think about that? Is it something that was on your mind a lot?
Honestly, I feel like I've always kind of labeled myself in a way where it's like, I'm an actor, I'm this and I'm that. And, I think people do it throughout life, and just like, people, when you meet someone, most of the time you ask them, what do you do? And they say, I am blank. And I think that's a thing that we all label ourselves, and then, trying to find the label that we fit in is unfortunately like a big part of life. Like you go to college to find out what label you will have. And when you're in college, you are a college student, and, you are always constantly labeling yourself throughout life. I feel like, the labels that you have do not describe who you are, and like trying to separate yourself from that is very important.
Yeah. And I think people want to be able to just put a label on somebody. I think that's the easy thing to do, because you want to be able to say, I know who this person is. I know what they're like. But I think obviously like our identities are much more complex than that. Hey, kitty. And we can be multiple things at once, and I think this show kind of explores that idea.
Yeah, I agree. Because when you kind of say like what Michael was saying, oh, I am this, or like there's a load of ideas that come with that, isn't there? And, like, it's limiting. It's limiting, and sometimes it's more freeing to be like, you know what, I'm not gonna put pressure on this. I'm not gonna label myself.
Especially now, a lot of people like feel like they need to label themselves to have worth, and I think that's something that I've got personally. I don't know about you guys, but like that's I've always like tried to put a label on something so that I felt important, or I had some kind of ring to the table.
Yeah.